Well, let's see here. I'm just checking to see. We've had some difficulty this morning, folks. If we're live on Facebook, just bear with me a second, if you would be so kind. I've got Chris on with us, and we're just having all kind of issues with him. I don't know what the deal is there with what he's doing there, but let's see here. With us, and okay, we are live. We're just having all kind of issues with good, him. Good. What the deal is there with what he's good deal. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for all the slow start here. Chris VA is with us. He wanted to speak with us today, and I just left his mic open. And so, Chris, if you can hear us, whenever you get your communication thing squared away, we will go with you. We got, Chris is going to speak to us about your inner therapist when it comes to heart failure. And I really want to hear this conversation there. We've also got Doretta Thomas join us today. She's talking about dying is not an option. So, thinking about someone talking about be the inner therapist in your heart failure, and then Doretta talking about dying is not an option. I mean, that's a 1-2 punch. I sure hope we can get Chris's audio squared away for him. And but I need to go ahead and open the show. The Messages of Inspiration and Hope show is proudly brought to you by the Speakers Pathway Coalition at speakerspathway.com. That is also the home of the Messages of Inspiration and Hope show. And in addition to that, we also are the home of the 6-minute webinar. Let me share my screen with you, if I may, and show you a couple things. And I've got a free gift or two for you, if I may. Okay, let's see here. Let me get over here to, there we go, speakerspathway.com. Excuse me. You can see here at the speakerspathway.com, our home site up there. And over here, we got 6 keys. I'll go through that in just a moment. But down here is where we have the Messages of Inspiration and Hope show. These are previous speakers there. We show 3 there. You click on See More, and it brings up just a bunch of our speakers here, pages and pages and pages of them. In fact, you can see all the pages down there. We're adding to them. And if you want to listen to one of the speakers, just click on that. And that will bring up this young lady's, Kelly Hansen's individual presentation. She talks about Make Mental Health Matter. And she is the founder of the BCC Evolution of Mental Health and Suicide Awareness. She lost her sister to suicide. So my point being, whenever you click on one of these messages and you're able to connect with one of these speakers, please let them know. And if you know someone that could benefit from their message, please get in touch with them and share it with them, and let the speaker know that you shared their video, because they would really appreciate that. In addition to that, let's see here. I got my got this little thing here in the way. There we go. The 6 keys. I forgot to show you that up there. Let me pull this. I got all these things here in the way, so that's why I'm kind of goofing around here some. The 6 keys freebie right there. And I'm letting Chris there just go ahead and work on his system and see if he can hear me, because we had no combo except for a cell phone. But the 6 keys freebie. If you click on that there, this is Don's gift to you. Don McGrath, he's the co-founder of the Speakers Pathway Coalition. This is a wonderful prerequisite for you on the 6-minute webinar, which I'll share with you in just a moment. Talks about the right audience. You got to be giving your message to the right audience. You got to be able to tell them what problem you solve. And you got to make a promise to them. Most importantly, you got to show value. You got to have a call to action. And the 6-minute webinar is short enough to keep them to the end. Now, in addition to that, Don goes into some more little details here about what each phase is. So this is yours free. Just download that and you'll be good to go and show value and all that call to action. And, you know, this is a real good prerequisite introducing the 6-minute webinar. If you want to know more about the 6-minute webinar, just click on this right here. You'll see the 6minutewebinar.com. This is a video on it that explains the 6-minute webinar because it enables you to be able to take one thing, one problem that you solve, and be able to get a crystal clear message over to your ideal client. Because if someone is interested in losing weight, they're not interested in anything else except tell me what you can do for me to help me lose weight. I don't care about all the other things that you do. I don't care about that. It has no value to me. But tell me how you can help me lose weight. You've got my attention. And if you do it in 6 minutes or less, you do it right. You clarify the problem, you solve, and for whom. Of course, you're going to write the script. That's part of the presentation. You have your slides, but most importantly, you will enable them to be able to get from where they are to where they want to be. We're going to have a 3-hour class on this. And that 3-hour class is going to start on Saturday, October the 24th. I'm going on memory now. And we're going to start at 12 noon Eastern time. 12 noon Eastern time on Saturday, October the 24th. And just go down here and be sure and register for that and lock it in, because I tell you right now, it's a wonderful, wonderful program. Now, that'll give you one free gift there, the 6 keys to the 6-minute webinar, right? Well, let me give you another. Here's another free gift. Here we go. Clarity Has No Story. This is a free ebook from Mr. Bill Heinrich, one of our executive training directors. He's also the co-creator of the 6-minute webinar. And if you go here to myfreebook.me, M as in Mike, E as in Echo, as we like to say in the phonetic alphabet, you can just download it there for free, and Bill Heinrich will not put you on an email list and try to hound you. That's not who he is. And you'll get the ebook for free instantaneously. And Bill Heinrich, he's known as the Divine Purpose Guy. His website is truelifepurposenow.com. And I'm going to, in just a moment here, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. That's Mr. Bill there on the right. And here is his book that he wrote called 7 Levels of Truth. You see, I got a little sticker in there where I keep my spot, by Bill Heinrich. And again, there's his, let me hold it up here, truelifepurposenow.com. And if you contact Bill, you see the 1995, you can get there on Amazon, but if you contact Bill, he'll have it sent to you just for the shipping and handling costs. And that's a great book. I mean, it's really power-packed with a lot of information. So you want to get your copy there. But I encourage you to download, Clarity Has No Story at myfreebook.me, M as in Mike, E as in Echo. That way you can see the value in what Bill delivers before you purchase the book. Make sense? And be sure and go to speakerspathway.com and get your 6 keys to a successful webinar, because that is a great mindset to be able to prepare you for the presentation. Now, let me invite Chris here. Chris, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yay! Yes, sir, I can.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, me and Chris, we were sitting there and he still got a little hair left. I was pulling my hair out too because we couldn't figure out. We're communicating by cell phones. He says, can you hear me? I said, on the cell phone, but not over here. But thank you.
I think I have a problem with the internet and the bandwidth around where I am, because they have a lot of firewall in this area. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize. I just went and checked with my manager, and that's what she said. I said, okay, well, we will do our best as long as we're here. Going to be short, but I'll do my best.
Let me share one thing with you, because I've done many radio shows. You might say we got over 5 million downloads on Your Future Is Now on the TogiNet radio system. But The video is not that important. What's really important is the audio, because people will be listening to you when they're working on something or driving a car. Hopefully they're not watching a video when they're driving a car, but
That's right.
that's a good way to, as my dad used to say, son, that's a good way to skin your ignorance. But you're going to be talking to us today, Chris. And would you be kind enough to pronounce your last name? So I didn't get a chance to ask you how you pronounce your last name. Is that Vijay or what?
VJ.
VJ,
As
okay,
in,
just like
yeah,
it's spelled.
as in
Yeah.
victory over Japan. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just Vijay. I always like to ask how people pronounce their last name, because, ladies and gentlemen, I actually went to school and got a degree on mispronouncing names. I do that 100% of the time effortlessly. And I mastered in Southern slang, so you know that. But you're going to be talking to us today about your inner therapist in heart failure. Is that right, sir?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, let me do a couple things. Let me cut off my video. Well, first of all, let me do it by the numbers here. Here we go. I'm going to give you the spotlight. There we go. Let me shut off my video, and I will mute my mic, and the stage is yours.
So am I starting straight away, or how? I thought you said 9:30, right?
Go ahead, sir. I mean, right now you're live, so just go right ahead and share your message.
Oh, okay. So I'm starting now. I thought maybe I'm going to start in 10 minutes. I thought you were giving me some time. No?
No, I mean, go ahead, because you need more time or what?
Yeah, just give me a couple of minutes, because I just came to a different room. I'm just kind of setting things up here. So
Okay.
just getting a glass of water. I thought the time was, I had 9:30, so I have 9:12. And I said, oh, I got 5 minutes. I'll go get my cup of coffee, and then I'll be ready so I can be energized.
I tell you what, go get a cup of coffee there. Let me ask Doretta if Doretta's ready to go. Let me unmute you and give you permission to start your video,
Okay,
Doretta.
thank you.
Doretta, are you there, sweetie? There she is.
I am, and can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, and it's Chris.
Yes, hi, Doretta. How are you?
Hi, Chris. And you know, the crazy thing is I'm sitting in a hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, I checked myself in a hotel because both of my twins, 24-year-old twins, and both of their girlfriends contracted COVID. So I left the house. Yes, I left the house, so I'm in the hotel room. So that's why I kind of wanted you, Jim, to tell me how the lighting was, because I know how the lighting is in my office at home, but I'm not at home now.
Mm-hmm. You look fine. You look fine.
Does? Okay, very good.
Yeah, in fact, I think I could be safe to say this, and I think Chris would agree with me. You look a lot better than me and him.
That's right.
No, not at all. But yeah, I'm ready to go if you want me to. I'm ready.
Okay, that way give Chris a chance to get ready for his presentation, because we were sitting there right before we went live, and I says, I've got to go live. We've been working on for 15 minutes, and he could not hear me. I could not hear him. And
okay.
We just, oh my goodness. So
yeah,
let me do this. Let me go ahead and give you the center spotlight, if I may. And then I will, let's see here.
And how will you let me know when I need to shut up?
I will do that, and I'll do that in the chat box.
In the chat box. Okay, very good.
Yeah. I'm going to give you the spotlight video. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut off. I'm going to mute Chris's mic, and I'll shut off his video. And I think I'm going to shut off his video if it let me. There we go. And there we go. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to mute my mic and shut off my video. And Doretta, you're going to be talking to us about dying is not an option. Is that right?
Right. About my book.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal.
How it came to be.
There you go. Let me shut off my video and mute my mic, and the stage is yours. Go ahead. The stage is all yours. You can go ahead and start.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Doretta Thomas, and I'm here to kind of share with you my journey that I went through in 2018. Again, Doretta Thomas, I wrote a book called Dying is Not an Option. And I want to share why I wrote that and how it kind of was birthed. Again, January 2018, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And when the doctor told me, I thought, oh, okay, it's stage 1, easy peasy, I'll get through this. Told my children, told their dad, hey, we got this, everything's gonna be just fine. I didn't know that I was triple negative and I was also BRCA2. And I'm gonna share with you those things a little bit later and what that meant. So I wanna share at the beginning, no two cancers are alike. I don't care if 10 women have breast cancer. There may be some differences that I share that you don't have, you have that I may not share. So I do want to throw that out. I have a lot of people say, well, what should I do? What path should I take? I can't say that. Everyone has their own journey. My number one thing that got me through is I had an awesome cancer nurse navigator. She was there from the very beginning. She helped me. She just what her title is, she navigated me through all the ins and outs of just kind of what was going to be happening. Because again, I'm thinking stage 1, my mother-in-law passed away in 2001 and she had cancer, but I remember the first time she got it, it was stage 4 breast cancer. And they told us in the event of it coming back, it's gonna come back and it'll come back with a vengeance and it'll come back aggressively. So I'm thinking stage 1, I'm okay. I know stage 3 and stage 4 is kind of, serious, but I'm thinking stage 1, I've got this. I just go in, do my little surgery. So that day I was diagnosed with cancer. Then the next day, less than 24 hours, my children's father died. So in less than 24 hours, my kids have found out, and I have 5 grown sons, that their mom has cancer and their dad has died. And so we were in just a whirlwind of emotions, just all over. Again, my connection with the higher being, with God, is the only thing that got me through. Had I not had my faith in him, I wouldn't be sitting here. I never would have been able to write a book. I'd have been in the cuckoo house. Okay, let's just throw that out right there. So day 2, like I said, I'm just diagnosed with cancer. Their dad has passed away. So one thing I do want to share with people is that when we're dealing with things of such magnitude, you want to be careful who you tell your story to. You want to be able to have people in your life who are positive, people who are going to lift you up and not bring you down and not, produce a death sentence on you. So I was very, very careful at the beginning who I shared my diagnosis with, and especially since the day after my children's father passing. So only a few people knew what I personally was going through. And I did that on purpose because, again, you have to protect your peace. And in my book, I talk about how important protecting your peace is. When we have cancer and any other, catastrophic illness, the number one thing the doctor says is, oh, don't stress, no stress, keep as much stress away from you as you can. Well, I had the ultimate in stress. There was no way I could sit and just not stress, again, because of everything that had happened. My kid's father, we divorced many years ago, but we were still the best of friends. We talked on the phone, sometimes 2-3 times a day. We would take our kids and our grandkids different places. So we were very, very active in each other's lives. We shared everything with each other. He was truly my best friend here on earth. So it was still like losing a husband, even though we were not married. So my part that I had to come to grips with was the grief The cancer, I knew I was going to be okay. I had that in my psyche that no, dying is not an option. So I'll tell you how that came to be. Again, the nurse navigator, angel here on earth. She said, Doretta, we're getting ready to discuss your case. It's about 30 doctors. They sit at a round table and they look at all your charts and all your blood work and everything, and then they come up with a plan. I need you here. I want you here in 15 minutes. So I shot across from one side of the town to the other to get there. Got there right when they were probably in the middle of discussing my case. I'm listening to each one of the doctors, you know, share with how they would handle this, how they would do this. At the end, they turn over and they say, Ms. Thomas, do you have any questions? I said, nope, I don't have any questions, but I do have a statement. Look, dying is not an option. My kids just lost their dad. They just found out their mom has cancer, but I cannot die. So whatever you all have to do, whatever you have to discuss, whatever you have to come up with, your plan, that's what we need to do because I cannot die. And so I don't know how many patients come to the round table like that with all this experience in front of them and say something like that. So they were pretty, to say, taken back. They were like, oh, okay. So basically, that's how I started my journey. I started my journey with one thing in mind, that dying was not an option. And I meant that wholeheartedly. So what I did was I continued to read inspiring quotes and my Bible and whatever you need to do, if that's yoga, if meditation, you need to keep yourself as much as possible in a place of positivity. And again, that means having people in your lives that are positive and shun away from. It's okay. This is your time. This is your time to heal, your journey. And it's okay if you have some people, because sometimes we have folks in our family that are not too positive and pretty negative. And it's okay for you to step back and say, no, not now. Because the number one concern right now should be you and you getting well. So that was very important to me. So I knew I had to do that. So as I'm going through my journey and my children is walking with me with this, you figure, and this is something that we don't think about. Not only are you going through what you're going through, and if you have children and grandchildren, each one of your children, and if you have a spouse, your spouse, everybody handles these situations differently. So I have 5 sons, and even though they're grown, they're still my babies. And so each one dealt with it differently. And they were also dealing with the grief differently from the loss of their dad. So I had to be there for each one in a different way. And that's another thing that we don't think about is I tell people that when I'm going through cancer, my family is going through cancer. If I just lost a significant other or a child or what have you, the family, that immediate family is going through that as well. We're all suffering together. And everybody deals with grief, catastrophic illnesses differently. I have, again, sons that one just kind of goes into a shell. I have one that may go out and go party too much. I have one that just totally shuts down, closes the door, and hates the whole world. I mean, I had it on all different, the whole type of gamut. It was just there. So again, I had to be there for each one in the way that they needed me to be, but then also, again, taking care of mom with the cancer. So with that, I had to make sure that Doretta was whole. I will share with you, when you are going through something like cancer. Again, I'm a big proponent of, I'm plant-based. I've been plant-based for about 7 years now. So, but I'm a big opponent of just taking care of yourself internally as well. So that's the time when I would suggest cutting back. If you drink alcohol, cutting back on your alcohol. If you smoke, try to stop smoking. Put as much as you can in your body that is healthy for you. My oncologist told me, he said, Doretta, you're not going to have as many issues as I see some of my patients go through because you're already so healthy prior to that. So see, I already had an advantage. So if you're not eating properly, and that's not, you got to eat right 100% of the time, because I don't. I eat cookies and ice cream and all that stuff. But I do make a point to eat plant-based, and I'm very careful what goes in my body. Very, very careful of what goes in. And I think that's one thing we don't talk about. We always talk about the solution, how to get rid of, cancer, or how to get rid of the flu or what have you. But a lot of times it's the preventative stuff that we can do that may help us as well. So the better we treat our bodies, when we get something like a cancer diagnosis, it helps tremendously. And I really believe that helped me quite a bit. I did go through 4 rounds of chemo. I went through 4 only because I had the triple negative and the BRCA2. You can imagine, I was happy to hear that I only had to go through 4, but because of the triple negative, my body would only do what it was going to do. So the oncologist said, there's no need to put all that nasty chemicals in your system. It's either going to work or it's not. So we just did 4. So just want you to know how when I say being positive and having positive people in your life helps, that's not an understatement. There's nothing else I can say more prominent than that is vital for you to keep positive attitude and positive things around you and people around you to come out of whatever it is you're coming out of. And let me share this with you too. My book, Dying is Not an Option, you can purchase that at the whole sentence, dying is not an option.net. It'll take you right to the book, and you can purchase the book. There's a place where you can, write something if you like. I'd love to hear from you. I have people who will write little things like, hey, I'm going through that as well. Hey, my sister, I'm helping my sister. And again, just if it's not you, and if it's a loved one that you're going through this journey with, just know that they need time to process everything that they're going through. You need to be there for them. Just love on them. I can also be reached. My email is doretta@ladiesleavinglegacies.com. I can be reached that way. My website is, again, ladiesleavinglegacies.com. I got so many different platforms here, but the website is ladiesleavinglegacies.com. Okay, so I'd love to hear from you. Again, reach out to me. All I can say is that protect your peace. Try to eat as healthy as you can. Have positive people in your life. Just take care of yourself. If you're able to exercise, walking, just doing a routine, having a routine. But the better that you take care of you, the better your outcome can be. And when it comes to grief, don't let anyone tell you when you should be finished grieving. Okay? That no one has that right to tell you that. When you finish grieving, you will know. But don't let people say, oh, he wouldn't want you to be grieving. Oh, she wouldn't. Mm-mm. You continue your grief the way you need to. Okay. I will say what helped me was the Grief Recovery Institute. You can buy the book, Grief Recovery Institute. Awesome book. If you can go, they have free sessions all around the world, all around the world. This is just that good. And if you can't go, it's an 8-week class, but it's so worth it. It really helped me. Okay, I love you guys. Please let's stay in touch and have a great day. And remember, dying is not an option. Bye-bye.
Wow, that was really a great presentation. I want to bring Chris on too and unmute his mic and give him a chance. Chris, I sent you a request to turn your camera on. And, you know, I've experienced a full range of emotions with your presentation there, Doretta. Chris, did you get the request to turn your camera on? Because I'd like for you to join us, sir. I think he did. There he is.
Oh, there you are, Chris.
Yeah. When you said,
can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. You're good. You're good. Yeah. When you said, wait a minute, you know, a major correction on the website, you know, made me kind of giggle there a little bit because I've got 6 different email addresses.
Me too.
People say, Jim, I sent you an email. I said, okay, where?
Which one? Yeah, that's me too.
You know.
Yeah, that's me. Since having the book, I've got a website coming up, and I'm like, I don't remember all this. I don't remember all that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't. And one of the email addresses I was getting stuff at, I didn't know I had it because they didn't tell me. And they're kind of like, "Where you at?" You know, I sent you an email. I'm going like, "Okay," you know. In fact, that's how I found out. Yeah, that's how I found out about it. But first of all, I want to thank you for sharing your message. I mean, my goodness gracious, finding out the news and then losing your husband.
Yeah.
Because he was the father of your children, and you know he was your best friend and all. I mean, you loved him, and I mean that's just like getting hit twice with a ball bat. It really is.
It was. Yeah, I got hit in the gut twice. Exactly. Boom, boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uppercut. Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. Because one of my good friends is Tamara Hunter. She has Chemo Buddies for Life organization, and she's about whenever people have cancer, they should not, or any life-threatening disease, walk that walk alone. And her website is chemobuddies4life.org. And Tamara says, you know,
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, Chemo Buddies, life, L-I-F-E. She has a journal that she gives away free to people that are suffering from disease, and you know, good days, bad days, and you know, your chocolate days and things like that. And Tamara, the best way I can describe her to you, she's just a very sweet lady, very open lady. She loves helping people. I mean, she'll get up out of bed and help somebody if she can, in the middle of the night. I mean, that's just who she is. That's the way she's wired. She's good people. You girls will get together like sisters, like twin sisters. And
so you said Chemo Buddies, and that's IES, right?
Yeah. And then the number 4, life, Life.org. And she is just a fantastic lady. She's also the next, she was the first world's next impactor. She won that award, and she's going to be putting on a give-a-thon here the end of this month. For the fundraiser for the 36 hours. She's going to be on streaming TV and all that. And she's just, like I say, she's just a wonderful, fantastic lady. She says those 3 words, "You've got cancer." And she says that hits home right there in her.
It does. It really does.
And Chris, I've been talking quite a bit. I mean, I know you sit there and you listen to Doretta's message there. And how did, you know, just share with her how you felt, brother.
Yeah. Doretta, oh my God, my heart bleeds for you. What you've gone through is incredibly touching. But what coming out of all of the trials and tribulations that you've gone through, what's coming out for me, the message to the world is your resilience. You have been so resilient in spite of it all, and I think that message is very real. And I'm just so honored to listen to you and humbled by by all the things you've gone through, and now just making an impact on people's lives, writing a book and giving that message of hope and dream. And it's funny because my book is about a similar concept of prevention right here. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
So it
heart failure.
So it's
okay.
Well, it's very actually heart and cancer. They're all very much intertwined to the extent that truly your message is resonated in my book as well.
Okay.
And what I'm going to say now, what he said, prevention, and I got another word for it. It's called prevention, and I have a third synonym for it. It's called prevention, and and that's what I'm going to talk about.
And I bet the fourth one is, let me guess, is that prevention? Right. Am I close?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Because some things we can't prevent. You're right.
Fantastic. Well, good luck with everything you do.
Well, thank you. And good luck to you as well.
Let me do this. Let me give Chris the center stage here, leave him the spotlight. And Doretta, if you can hang on, we'd like to visit again with you till the end of the show. And let me, I'll mute your mic, Doretta, and I'll cut your camera off there. And did I do Chris?
Well, you took my camera away. What happened to it?
Folks, this is Monday. And did you get a request on your camera on? There we go.
There you go.
I did that without any help. I mean, this Monday we started off the show and we couldn't communicate, and me and Chris are working on it feverishly for about 15 minutes before we went live, and I had to go live, and anyway, we're having fun. And Doretta, I'm just going to mute I'll cut your camera off if I may. And let's see, did I do that right? Good. Now let me stop my video, mute my mic, and Chris, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Speakers Pathway, for giving me the opportunity to speak today. It's such an honor, and I'm totally humbled by the opportunity, of course, and want to give a message to the world because my book just came out, and we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to start off asking some simple questions. Did you ever know that once your heart kicks off at 16 weeks, it never stops until you die? Did you know that your heart beats about 100,000 times a day? So the question that keeps coming to me on a regular basis is, if my heart is the powerhouse that sustains me, keeps me going with awareness the minute I wake up with a certain level of consciousness about me, about my existence, then do I not have an obligation to cherish it, to nurture it, to preserve it, and to prevent it from getting hurt physically, emotionally, spiritually? You tell me. So the story is personal. The problem of heart disease, huge, 6 million heart failure in the US, and then God knows what's the rest of the world. One death every 38 seconds. Did you know that? And more than 600 million people will have diabetes by 2030, and diabetes affects the heart in most unimaginable ways. Of course, there is blood pressure and cholesterol and smoking and obesity and the stress of life and the anxiety, unhealthy eating habits, lack of exercise, right? So that brings to my personal story. So what happened in 1977 in January, my father had just come home from a hospital in Bombay where I grew up, discharged with congestive heart failure. He was treated by one of the finest cardiologists. And I had left for medical school at the time. He had just come home, and I knew that he was suffering 1,000 miles away. My final exam was coming up. And just a week before my exam, I had a hunch that my father was not well and had fallen through the cracks. I had no clue. He had passed away a week before my exam. So then, as I walked to my house after I finished my exam, my brothers were looking at me with grief, and I broke down in tears. And my father had been ill for so many times over the last few years of my life, but every time we be hospitalized, there was a fear that he may not come back alive. While it was not a major surprise when he died, I was still 21, 22. It was tough to handle his absence. And I knew that my father was there for me. He was a great mentor even after he was gone. He embodied the Gandhian philosophy of nonviolence, equality, freedom, truth, and religious tolerance and acceptance. So it wasn't just my father. Then I had 5 brothers, and all of them have had either diabetes or heart disease or both over the years. So truly, it's been a kind of an interesting journey, right? So to be a doctor was one thing. I became a doctor, and the trials and tribulations of internship, residency were a totally different animal, but the angst that is etched in the mitochondria was very palpable. Perhaps it is a very ordeal that gives the wherewithal or the chutzpah, I would say, to make it through and perform at times of crisis or at times of an emergency. Perhaps it is the richness of existence and the bountiful experience that's gained over the years with all the mental and physical trauma and the sleep deprivation being part and parcel of this journey that makes one stronger. We know that when a single child in Kenya goes to sleep hungry, the entire planet is malnourished. We know when the ocean of homeless people roam through the streets of Damascus or Dhaka in Bangladesh, then our conscience is indelibly disturbed. We know that when the heart stops beating in Ukraine or in Uruguay, silence engulfs the whole world. And I've been told by my inner therapist to visit a world other than myself, entirely other than myself, on a diligent basis, and have an unquenchable human urge to strive for a better life for the patients that I encounter every day. I have learned that I must be global, that I must be national, that I must be diverse, and that I must be technologically advanced, compassionate, and I must bring to all a sense of healing. So clearly, the inexorable nature of suffering and the tales and images of unexpected beauty bring contrast and congruence at the same time. They bring visibility and total indistinctness about our own existence at the same time. So it begs the question about the meaning and purpose of our daily life with warts and all, fractured, unscathed, or both. So after 40 years of my medical school, one thing that was very appealing to me were the stories of the person behind the disease and the struggle that they go through and the inconceivable things that they have accomplished. So I believe strongly that invoking a conversation about these achievements in and of itself is partly a panacea for healing, both their physical and their mental malady. Yes. So the question comes up, what is the solution then? What is the solution? The solution is prevention. There is another word for it. It's called prevention. But there is a synonym that's called prevention. And I have time and again explored the concept of prevention. And I've been telling my patients on a constant basis that yes, it is very important that we prevent the onset of diabetes, the onset of cancer, the onset of hypertension, the onset of heart failure. I always believe that I must marry the knowledge and experience that I've gained through my patients with precise realism that will resonate with intricate and disturbing echoes. Because the world is textured and complex, but the stories are intimate. The stories are universal. To believe that science is perfect is foolhardy. No, there are too many uncertainties in medicine. And to believe that we can cure every heart disease, every cancer would befall on the ludicrous. Yes, while we aspire to help patients reach their highest level of quality and functionality, and if they happen to live longer, than expected, yes, then we'll be humble to accept the outcome. We'll praise the Lord, have faith, and worship the higher power that has bestowed the elixir of life upon us. So yes, I do, I guess, have a solution. What is that solution? Well, the solution is about prevention, right? The solution is about prevention. But the prevention is to treat oneself and others as if you're having been given a precious life from up above. The minute you're born, that's why I bring up the concept of that first heartbeat at 16 weeks when you're in your mother's womb. And you have to prevent disease. Then you have to cherish your body. Keep your mind separate from the body and cherish it. And know that inside of you is your own divinity. So every life is divine. So with all the stressors of life, with the accumulation of all the layers of negativity, the anxiety, the fear, the humiliation, the isolation, sadness, conflicts, greed, jealousy, anger, hatred, this divinity totally is getting masked. And multiple layers are forming around that divinity, all of these layers one by one. And what is my purpose and meaning of my existence? So I could actually peel off these layers one by one, right? My purpose is to peel off these layers through worker worship, through psychic control and mindfulness, or through philosophy and unconditional love for all. I should be able to see my own divinity, right? I should be able to see the holiness in every person, benevolence in every animal, and sacrosanctity in everything I hold as nature around me. I should be able to put my hands together at every encounter in this fashion. It's called namaste. And I should be able to say, I salute the godliness in you. As I peel the layers every day by doing a good deed, getting to the core of my consciousness, only then shall I experience my spirituality. I'm trying very hard. You have to try very hard. Invoke your own divinity that you should be envisioning it to be so dazzling to the sight. I should be envisioning to be so dazzling to the sight, bright with splendor of the fiery sun, blazing from all sides. Yes, we have a solution. And I have a call to action. And what is that call to action? So, in my book, I share the stories with tremendous tenderness, respecting the dignity of my patients who are struggling or have struggled with heart disease, yet always have a sense of hope and a sense of dream to live, to love, and to be loved for one more day. So allow me to unlock your hidden potential and empower your neurocognitive science. Allow me to expand your knowledge and allow me to shape your future in ways unimaginable. Thank you for your attention. I want to show you my book right now. This is it. It's called Invoking Your Inner Therapist in Heart Failure. Untold Patient Experiences from Prevention to End Stage. And if you go through the book here, it has amazing pictures, beautiful stories, through and through with motivational, powerful, inspirational messages. And you will see that some of these stories will resonate for you because either you have experienced or somebody in your family or your friend, because this book is for anyone with a heart. Thank you for being here.
Chris, would you be kind enough to share your website and email address so people can get in touch with you, sir?
So KVIJAYMD, Chris Vijay, but KVIJAYMD, that's for medical doctor, at gmail.com. And my nonprofit, who I'm working with, called Twin Epidemic. We chant for Twin Epidemic of Diabetes and Heart Disease among multiple communities around the world. The Twin, TWINEPIDEMIC.com. So that's my website. And Spotlight is my publisher, so you can go Spotlight Publishing and you'll see Becky Norwood's website as well, and you can access Spotlight Publishing website as well. So those are some of the things, or you can actually directly text me, and I have a business. Let me show you that thing here. Let's see if it comes up. There it is. Elevate BI. So get your Elevate card. It says connect with me here, or you can text me, share. It says text Chris Vijay, KRISVIJY 2 64600. That way, then you can directly get access to me, and then we can have conversations about that. So big thanks.
Okay, sir. Well, thank you so very much. And I'm also going to unmute Doretta and send her request, start a video again. Oh my goodness, as I'm sitting there and I'm listening, of course, I listen to Doretta and I listen to Chris and all. And Chris, did you cut your camera off, or where'd you go? Did you take a break? There you are.
There he goes.
Anyway,
okay. All right. Anyway, as I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about all the technical issues we had before the show. And, it just goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, that, just hang in there, because it's not about you. It's all about the information, because you look what Chris just delivered there. And we heard what Doretta said there. And Chris, as you were talking, one thing came to mind. It also came to mind when Doretta was talking, said every living thing on planet Earth, from the molecular level all the way up, it will fight to survive. And that includes cancer and arthritis and all kinds of diseases. So therefore, you got to give your body good ammunition. And Doretta, I love what you said, the power of the mind.
Yep.
You can't fight a battle if you're already mentally defeated.
Yeah, exactly.
And Doretta, I would like for you to, share some thoughts that you've got from Chris's presentation, please.
Okay, well, hold on. Say that again, because you kind of broke up.
Oh, okay. Just go ahead and share what your thoughts were to Chris about his presentation.
Oh, I thought his was wonderful. Just about how you were saying aligning ourselves, and you're right. So many different illnesses and different things that we have. What happened to us?
Oh, we're here. Go right ahead.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. For some reason, my whole screen blacked out. But okay. But this technology is really something else.
Yeah, just put another quarter in.
But yeah, that's what I need to do. But yeah, Chris, I found it to be very, very just enlightening. I am going to get the book for sure, because I think the more you and I resonated on the same thing, just being positive and just letting your light shine, and just love. I've never seen a mean, evil, cantankerous person just, go through so much without love. People say, oh, I don't want anybody, or I don't need anybody, or I want to do this by myself. No, that's not true. We were not designed for that. Mm-hmm. And you hit on it. We're not designed. We're designed to love. And I think that's why so much of what we're going through, Chris, like you said, we're going through because, again, we've kind of gotten away from just love. So yeah, it was really good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we're all social creatures, so and we all thrive on love. I mean, I don't care who you are. I mean, and the secret to life, Bill Heinrich hits on this a lot. Doretta just dropped something. I guess she'll be back with us. But the real secret to
I'm charging my phone.
Are you?
I have to put it in the.
Yeah, I hear you. But the secret to life is that you got to love yourself first, and then share your love with others. Because so much in this world we see today, people are trapped in the physical of fear, the physical of want, the physical of need. If they just let go of that and say, "Hey, I'm part of the eternal. Yeah, I'm gonna live somewhere eternally forever. My choice.
Right, exactly.
And if I tap into the abundance of the universe, And Bill covers that very, very well. And this is not I don't get anything for, his book or anything, but the 7 levels of truth, because he spent 25 years in doing this. Bill actually walked away from his whole life to do that. I mean, he just had to totally change his life. He says, I had a degree in misery, but he found the
Got that one.
he found the truth, and he shares it with everyone. And he's all about, just let go of the physical,
Yep.
the want, the need, the hate, all that stuff. Let it go.
Yep.
Fall into love. He says only 2 emotions, fear and love. And if you're in love, you're in abundance. If you're in fear, you're automatically limited.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that goes with what you were saying about your mind, because if you got the right mindset, you've tuned into the universe, the ultimate abundance of love and energy. Because that's the 2 things we love. And people, they spend a lot of money trying to buy energy.
You're right.
And I'm 72, and I've got I'm glad I got all the energy I've got. You could use a little more, but not a whole bunch more, because otherwise I'd be
You're doing great.
jumping around.
You're amazing.
Well,
I wouldn't be acting my age.
Yeah, but it's amazing how we are, how God made us.
Mhm.
Because you're right, when we're young, we got all this energy, and then as we get older, we're healthier and what have you, but we still kind of slow down a little bit. But it's by design, because I think now we've got so much wisdom. We should have much more wisdom, and so we don't have to go so fast. Just
Yeah, at least that's what I tell myself. I'm smart enough now to slow down the curves when I'm going down the pathway of life. And used to be wide open.
Woo, that's it. That's it.
As my dad used to say, son, that's a good way to skin your ignorance.
I'm going to use that one. Skin your ignorance.
Skin your ignorance. That's what my dad used to tell me. I heard it more than once, I can honestly say. But ladies and gentlemen, we've had a ball on this show. We've had
and I keep saying to my
Go ahead, Chris.
I was just saying that my boys, I'm in my 60s, my boys are in their 20s, late 20s now, and they keep telling me that I'm absent-minded. You're getting absent-minded, Dad. You're losing your memory and stuff. So I tell them, hey, I don't remember being absent-minded.
They just tell them you just choose to remember what's important.
That's right. I have selective
There you go.
memory.
Yeah. Oh my folks, we've had a ball here today.
This has been great. This has truly been great.
You guys have made it great too. And Chris, thank you for hanging in there and getting the technical issues squared away there. And we didn't drop the ball there. And we've had a lot of fun, but most importantly, we've shared a lot of great information. And I always like to close every single show with wishing people, if it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you. And remember, on your special day, your birthday, all birthday cakes and the special desserts that you love, they are health food. So don't cheat yourself. Go out and treat yourself, love yourself, and then love others. Right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please share the show with others. Be sure and get in touch with Doretta and Chris. And I'll give you guys a chance to say goodbye before I end the show. You want to say goodbye?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Wave bye.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Be blessed.
Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye, guys.
Okay. Bye-bye.